Welcome back to AV Veterans Talk. We're continuing our conversation with this week's guest, TV Hall. So we're back here with TV Hall.
I forgot where we were.
Yeah, well, you're right where you left off.
Where did we leave off?
Well, we were sitting there. We were getting out of basic training there, and we were getting ready to go into OTS and stuff. But you know what? Everybody always has this, at least a couple stories of basic training that we love to share with the audience out there and stuff, because everybody has their own journey through there. And of course, I'm sure you probably had an interesting adventure or two, correct?
Well, there was one.
Especially with your personality.
My personality. But the first
I'm
story is
surprised you're even here. I'm surprised you haven't been set back so many times that you're still in the Air Force for your mouth.
Yeah, I was. I learned to train my mouth.
Yeah.
There was this one guy in my flight, and about the third day, he started wandering from the group and picking up pieces of paper and saying, "That's not it." And he put it down and put it in his pocket so he could throw it away later. And he kept doing this. Picking up paper. That's not it. So finally they moved him to a special flight, and because we kind of hit it off, I kept in contact somehow. And here's how it went down. Finally, at the end, he was doing this, and they analyzed him, and they decided, no, this man cannot be in the service. And they said, they brought him in. They said, Airman Smith, we need to talk to you. This is your last day in the Air Force. We have a piece of paper for you. This is discharge papers. He looks at it and says, That's it.
Yeah, it's stuff we know that one. That's a good one. Yeah,
it's a good one.
That's a good one.
Now, I was out policing. You were always policing the areas. I never knew why. They didn't give us a gun, but we had to police areas.
Of course we do.
How do you that?
Yeah, all these guys. They had
trash, you're under arrest. So my area had, this was an eagle-eyed TI, had one little piece of paper that was there that I hadn't caught. And he runs up to me and he screams in my face, "Are you blind, Airman?" I said, "Sir, my visual acuity is 2400. He went, "Ugh," meaning I have very bad eyesight, and he never bothered me again.
Yeah.
He never bothered me again.
Yeah.
However, he was mean to all of us, and at the end of basic, we had a couple of days where we were still in the barracks. He says, "Oh, you men with college degrees, get in my office."
Yeah.
"What's your degree?" "Sociology, sir." "Get the hell out." "What's your degree?" "Engineering, sir." "Stay." "What's your degree?" "Computer science." "Stay." "What's your degree?" "History." "Out." Closes the door. He says, "Man, I've been busy running this flight, and I'm behind on a piece of homework, and it's due to be in the mail by midnight tonight. Now, if you would help me, you might have minor privileges for the next 12 hours.
So did you help him?
We did.
Oh, nice.
We did, and I'll tell you what, when we finished that paper, all the answers looked right.
Looked right. Just put it that way. Yeah.
My first set of military revenge.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Good deal. So, well, anyway, after basic, you were plucked out and you were sent over to OTS, correct?
Well, you never get plucked out of anything. You have to push the lever, push the lever. Yeah. It was Lackland Air Force Base. They don't do that there anymore. Actually, It was Medina, the one across the big highway that cuts down there.
Right.
And that was an interesting organization. I there too had the same problems with my mouth, but it turned out better than you might think. I was there, and I knew the times where I just shut up and did what we were supposed to do, and any time the reins were off, I would mouth off. And you have 3 times that you have something called peer evaluations, where everyone else writes something about you anonymously.
Yeah.
And you get to do it to everybody else. And the first one said, "O.T. Hall is a clown. Does he really want to be here? Blah, blah, blah." And that was pretty much 80-90%.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Then time rolls around, we get to the final one. And here's the general one. I would have gone crazy if it hadn't been for his wise cracks. There were days I was going to SIE, that means self-imposed elimination. And then O.T. Hall said something that cracked me up and realized how silly this all was.
Right.
So anyway, I got a commission as a second lieutenant, and my family was there, and we were all parked along this long parking lot, and my family handed me my civilian clothes, and I ran towards the dorm screaming, "I have civilian clothes!"
Yeah, of course, that was a big thing.
That was a big
First
thing.
time you got out of the greens.
And of course, all of my contemporaries were just shocked, and so was the commission staff. They were just shocked, but I already had the commission.
So do you remember that first salute? Do you remember the first salute?
Yeah,
It was always a big deal.
My wife was enlisted at the time, and I don't want to go into great detail on that particular occasion.
Yeah.
However,
Yeah.
the first non-related person was pretty cool. It was
Yeah.
the gate of Keesler Air Force Base in Biloxi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Home is Pascagoula, Mississippi, but everybody that I would go visit is dead now. So
Right. So after OTS and stuff, did they send you to a school? Because now you were going to get into... No. What happened?
No. A degree in something they really needed. They sent me to NORAD Cheyenne Mountain.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Colorado Springs. I had my orders to Colorado Springs before the graduation, and captains would look at it and say, "Colorado Springs, that's not for lieutenants."
Yeah.
Yes, it is for lieutenants now.
Yes, it is.
So they were rewriting the space track system for the satellites. Now, I need to explain that. Some of our audience will already know this, but others might need to know.
Yeah.
You have to track every piece of sizable junk on orbit all the time, because radars cannot tell the difference between a piece of junk
Yeah.
and a missile.
Right.
For example, it's 301, piece 1234 is due to hit our radar. Beep. Good. Okay. 702, nothing's supposed to hit our radar. This is a gross simplification.
Yeah.
Beep. Oh, that's not one that we're expecting. So they were rewriting that system, and if you just look at a diagram of the Earth and orbits and the rotations involved and all that, we needed more geeks than we had. And I was not one of the high-end geeks. I was one of the medium-end geeks, maybe low-end geeks to do moving data around and stuff like that. But there's, to this day, programs that I wrote defending our nation.
Wow. Well,
Whoopee-yahoo.
that's great and stuff. So we're going to take our next break here and stuff. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about, I have some questions about NORAD and stuff that we can get into and stuff. So maybe you can share some stuff there. So
I've already sold that information.
I know you've sold it already and stuff. So you just said you were defending our nation, and now you're selling us out. But anyway, we'll be right back after this break. I'm Bob Alvis, and thanks for joining us for this segment of AV Veterans Talk.